It's good to see y'all in the house. Clap it up for yourself one more time. This is Power, presenting opportunities where everyone rises. We offer this outreach every second and fourth Wednesday of each month. We've been doing this since February, and some of your faces look so familiar, and I'm glad you've been with us all of these months. Clap it up one more time for yourself.
All right. We want to thank our partners that make all this possible. The Joyce Foundation,
yes,
Northwestern Medicine, University of Chicago, all right, United Way Metro, and the one and only Bright Star Community Outreach.
Yeah.
Now, I need your help. I need your help.
What you need?
I need everybody that has a phone. Mute your phone.
Yes, please do that.
Mute your phone and like and share the program because we're on live right now.
Yeah.
So please go to our page and like and share right now. I'm giving you 2 seconds to do it. All right? Do that for us and tell somebody what we're doing here at our power sessions. Now, I'm going to put it out there now that our next power sessions is today and then
we'll get back to you.
Okay, all right. See, that's why my wife, I follow her lead. Go ahead, hon.
Yeah, so listen, this is something we haven't done either before or in a long time. Take those phones out once you have put them on mute. Take some selfies of yourself. We need you to post those pictures to our page so that we can put them up so people can see what's going on every second and fourth Wednesday. Come on, 1, 2, 3, lift those phones. Take a selfie of your table of yourself and tell people about this program, Power, presenting opportunities where everyone rises. Hashtag that photo and put Power September or Power 923. Can you do that for us? Can you do it? I see y'all. I see y'all trying. Get me, sis. Come on, get me. Hey.
She getting her own self.
Yeah.
Oh, she was getting the table. You gonna take a picture now? All right, come on. Right here, hon. Come on.
Hold on. Anybody with a camera is somebody.
Thank you.
Yes. So how y'all doing today? We got some new stuff to talk to y'all about today. We have a game that you're not prepared for, but we're going to get you ready in just a minute. I hope you have your thinking caps on. We will not accept anyone yelling out. We need you to raise your hand. And it's something that you know and understand because it's coming from way back. Well, I say way back, but it's really 60s. But it's coming from way back. And we're going to ask you if you could please keep your chatter down because we can hear that on our Facebook page. So use your inside voices if you're chatting with your neighbor. But we don't want to hear that on our recording. Is that right? Clap it up one more time for yourself.
All right. I want you to finish the tune.
Uh-oh.
Finish this tune.
And what's the person going to do that finishes one of these tunes? What's going to happen with that?
They're going to win something.
They're going to win what?
A gift card.
For how much?
I don't know.
$50.
Oh.
We made it a little harder this time, so you got a little extra 25. Please keep your chatter down because we can hear you on the stage. Thank you.
You want to start it?
You can start it.
All right.
Pick one.
Finish this tune.
We'll take the first person that raised their hand. I'll be looking. Go ahead.
Now we're up in the... No, how?
Keep your hands up and don't yell out the answer. Let him finish. Thank you.
Now we're up in the blank, blank, blank. Getting our blank at bat. I see a hand in the red right there.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to sing it, I'm going to follow you.
That's right. If you're going to sing it.
Come on, sis. Oh, she don't want this money. Let me find somebody else that want to do. For real? For real? Okay. I saw Miss Deborah. She was the second one I saw.
You go.
Yeah. Okay. So you read it, leave the blanks, and let her tell us what it is.
Now we're up in
the big league, getting out, turn at bat.
Uh-huh.
Long as we and me, baby. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, we're moving on up.
All right.
Give her $50.
Yeah.
She said the stuff I didn't even say.
Clap it up for Miss Deborah right here. Come on, y'all. We don't hate. We appreciate. We appreciate. So we have a $50 gift card from Miss Deborah right here. All of our gift cards today are going to be $50. My gosh, I wish I could win. I could use some. I could use some gas right about now. Let me do the next one. All right, y'all listening? Y'all listening? Y'all listening? Y'all listening? Y'all listening? All right. All right. Blank. Y'all know me. In a blank, blank, blank. Good times. Blank, blank, blank. Blank, blank, got 'em. Good times. Now, I have the words right here. Who's that?
Got a hand right there.
Stand up, sis.
I got her.
All right. So I'm going to be looking at each word. So take your time, because if any of it's wrong, you can't win.
Could you say it again?
Blank in a blank, blank. Good times. Blank, blank, blank. Blank, 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 blank. Got 'em. Good times.
Hanging in and jiving, good times. Temporary ripoffs, good times. Scratching and surviving. Hanging in and jiving, good times. Ain't we lucky we got 'em? Good times.
Yeah. I just wish we could give you the $50, but them words was all jacked up.
The tune was there.
Anybody else want to give it a shot? Anybody else want to give it a shot?
We should give her 50 cents for that.
I wish I could give it to her because that voice was so beautiful.
I know.
But you can be pretty and wrong, can't you? Huh?
Who else want to take a stab at it?
Anybody got an idea of what the words are? All right. We got them. We got them with that, honey.
That's good.
That goes back to the bank. Ooh. You want to do this one? Which one you want to do?
I don't want to do none. I don't know none of them songs.
All right, I got one. I am stuck on blank blank because blank blank stuck on me.
Green.
Green, come on up. You right in the front so you can get up with these beautiful eyeshadow.
I am stuck on Band-Aid cause Band-Aid stuck on me. I am stuck on Band-Aid cause Band-Aid stuck on me.
Yeah. Nope. Mallard. Y'all some beautiful singers. I hope you sing in your church choirs because they need voices like that. You want to try it?
I am stuck on Band-Aids because Band-Aids stuck on me.
Nope. Anybody else?
Right here.
On Band-Aid?
She give it another stab.
You want to try? You want to give it a stab? Go ahead.
I am stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me.
Hey, now you got it.
Now she won.
Come on, clap it up. I am stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me. Yeah, clap it up one more time, y'all. Let's go to a video. Let's go to our Turn Center video. Have you been across the street at 44 South Evans to check out our 68,000 square foot facility where all of our, hold on, only one person at a time can talk now. Thank you. 68,000 square foot facility where all of our programming is being held. I'll wait for y'all. Okay, where all of our programming is being held. Take a look and see what it looks like. We'll be back.
Our behavioral health department provides trauma-informed care to all residents in the greater Bronzeville and surrounding communities with a specific focus on culturally sensitive and relevant engagement with people of color. We are aware of the stigma related to counseling and mental health services and work tirelessly to normalize this sort of help. Our basic level of care is the helpline, where our team conducts peer-to-peer services. In a population that is predominantly people of color, it is often easier to engage with a peer and not a mental health professional. To date, over 12,000 calls have been received, and we have served 1,200 callers through our trauma helpline. In schools, we have care rooms, or caring and resilient environment rooms, created to provide a safe space for social emotional learning. We have seen an increase in school attendance, grades, and graduation utilizing this model. Our Choose to Change, or C2C program, is an evidence-based model used by CPS that BSCO is super excited about. Through Choose to Change and care rooms, we are able to positively impact 200 high-risk youth per semester. We provide a safe space for students, teachers, and anyone in the school family to discuss their feelings, emotions, and traumas. We track how our engagement encourages a decrease in truancy and an increase in grades and movement towards graduation. In Choose to Change, we specifically focus on at-risk students in order to encourage higher rates of engagement in school and graduation. Our highest level of care is the Family Advocacy Center, or FAC. 4,000 families have been served since its inception. This is where our clinical staff and counselors are situated to provide a direct referral line for their DCFS clients. As a result, 50% of our clients are DCFS involved, while the other 50% we are able to take referrals from the community. One of the benefits of this team is to provide consistent mental health counseling to a vulnerable population in an effort to keep families together. Lastly, our outreach, engagement, and marketing team is our ambassadors. They are tasked with informing our target population about mental health and wellness, making our community trauma-informed. We attend community events, but also provide groups meant to destigmatize and help people be more comfortable discussing mental health. Getting the word out to the community is our first line of defense in addressing mental health in our community. Our trauma awareness activities began in 2017 and have served over 40,000 residents. Black and brown people have a history of fearing mental health intervention. Therefore, BSCO endeavors to utilize the influence of faith and community leaders, as well as paraprofessionals, to remove obstacles and serve people that are often overlooked, marginalized, and vulnerable.
One more time. Y'all sound full. I said, let's clap it up one more. Where my table beaters at? Where my table beaters? Let me hear ya.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. We have our director of our parent university here with us. She has some exciting news. Next month is soon arriving. You can feel it in the weather. She's going to give us an update about what's coming up in October. Please be attentive to what she has to say. Let's put our hands together for Annette Barnes, our director of Parent University. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, trying to get this chicken out my teeth.
That's all right. That's all right.
So I can talk right.
That's all right. So what you got going on? What's Parent University all about?
So this, in October 14th,
yeah,
we're going to be talking about higher education preparation.
Ooh,
we're going to be talking about how you can find finances for your students who are going from junior high to high school, because some schools cost, right?
Yeah,
and so you want to know, if there are any scholarships out there, or are there any grants out there, or even if my kids should even go to a particular high school, right? And then we're going to talk about finances for college. Like, when should my student even apply for college?
Yeah.
And when should I start looking for scholarships or grants, right? And where do I go to find that information? So we're going to be talking about all those things, ACT scores. How do I study for that? How do I even study? right?
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
good study habits so I can make sure I have my child has the grades, have all the lessons that are needed to go to the classes, to the success, to be successful, right?
Set 'em up.
Because if you're going to, like, let's just say if you're going into be a construction worker,
Yeah.
or even someone who does AutoCAD, right? You need to know some math,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not talking about 2 + 2 is 2.
No, that's about it for me right there.
You need some trig, right? Geometry. You got to understand all angles. You got to understand all that. Well, guess
Awesome.
what? If they don't take any math in school, they're going to go to college. They got to go all the way at the beginning. So they got to complete all that stuff in high school. Do you know that your child can go to school, graduate from high school with an associate's degree?
What?
Did y'all know that? Yeah. So you need to know, how can my child already be ahead of the game?
Now, how can we register? What is it? What is the registration, and when will it be available? When is open enrollment for registration?
So you can go to Bright Star Community Outreach.com. You can register online, and it will be available by the end of this week.
I love that. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Now, didn't you just have a program in September?
I did.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so our program in September was about the kids going back to school. So we gave away book bags.
Yeah.
We gave away 62 haircut vouchers. And we talked about how to deal with class bullying. You know, sometimes our kids
yeah.
get bullied, or sometimes
Yeah.
our kid is the bully. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how do we deal with that? So we talked about IEPs. You know, how it benefits your kid. Should they be on an IEP? So we had great discussion and learning tools. Some people didn't even want to leave the class when
I
they went to
believe
that
that.
bullying class.
I
So
believe it.
I welcome you to come, because we have some great instructors that are coming. They're bringing a lot of great information. My name is Annette Barnes.
Now, can they anybody that want to volunteer, can they contact you?
Yeah, they can contact. Y'all want to volunteer? Yeah, y'all contact me.
Oh, we need plenty of help all the time. So if you want to volunteer for our next, for our October Parent University, it'll be up in a week or so, and she'll have flyers at our next Power. Please get in touch with. She'll be here for the rest of the day.
I will be here for the rest of the day.
Good. So you
Yes.
can see her and get more information. Let's clap it up for Annette
Thank y'all.
Barnes. Annette Barnes, Director of Parent University. How y'all doing? Let's go to another video while we set it up. All right, y'all pay attention now. This is good information.
Hey everybody, I tell folks all the time, you better stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Bless you, Pastor Mike. Listen, we here at the Turn Center, and can I tell you something? Something amazing happened on yesterday. We were able to host the Secretary of Transportation for the United States of America. Secretary of Transportation P.O.W.E.R stopped by, along with our Congress people, along with all of our senators, our amazing leaders in the community on the political level, civic level, and the business level. I'm super excited about what we have done here at the Turn Center. And can I tell you, we're thinking bigger. We're thinking much broader. We're thinking what's next, what's now, and can I tell you, how can we change the trajectory that our community is on? Listen, we repurposed Carter G. Woodson School, a 68,000 square foot facility, and made it the Turn Center. TURN is an acronym for the Urban Resilience Network. We have reactivated this building. And here's what I tell people: say nothing about violence and trauma until you do something about violence and trauma. Secretary Buttigieg, along with many of these other civic leaders, got a chance to come and see the amazing work that young people like these folks in this room are doing around violence prevention. I mean, these young people by themselves are working on a project to say, how can we address violence prevention? There was no way we weren't going to bring the secretary and all of these great leaders and into this building and not show them our health and wellness department. Listen, we got folks in this room that are committed to addressing the social determinants of health. So they got a chance to learn what we're doing and the various programs. These folks are thinking every single day on how we can enable our community to live and live well. 68,000 square feet of space. And not only are we in here, we're going to invite at least 25 other community-based organizations that serve our community to come in this space with us. If you know a good program, if you know a good organization that's looking for space, tell them to reach out to us, because we believe that we are better together. We need your support. You can donate, you can volunteer, or you can simply just share this video to let people know that Bright Star Community Outreach is rocking this thing and making sure that we provide prevention and intervention services. Folks are in here every single day doing the great work of violence prevention, trauma counseling, and all the other things that are happening in our community. And I got to tell you, I'm super duper excited about it. We are looking forward to continuing to not only develop people and develop programs, but also how do we redevelop our greater Bronzeville community? Please go to our website, brightstarcommunityoutreach.com, to learn a little bit more about what we're doing and jobs that are available. We are pumped up about this work, and clearly other collaborators are coming to the table to say, how can we do this great work together? Stay tuned, but listen, more than getting informed, here's what we need you to do. Get inspired enough to get involved.
It's been a minute since I've been up here. Power, make some noise up in here. Give me some more, Phil. Let me say it again. Power, make some noise up in here. I got a question. Which table is the best looking table in the room? Let me see. Come on, put the camera on the people. I want to see. Where y'all at? Where y'all? Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all got phones up in here? Y'all got phones? Take them out right quick. All right, I hope it's a table full of iPhones. Samsung, where you at? My condolences to you. iPhone family, where y'all at? That's what I'm talking about. All right, listen, do me a favor. Clean your lens right quick and take a selfie.
I like that.
Or a rowie, or a groupie, or a table-y. What we gonna call it today? Whatever you want. I want y'all to take some, ussy, that's right. Take some pictures with your neighbor. And now listen, the one that's trying to hide, they trying to hide from the IRS. Get their ear. Get their ear. That's all I got to say. And for those of y'all that are watching by way of online streaming, you are not on the scene, but you're watching on the screen. I want y'all to make sure y'all share this video. And everybody in the room, if y'all don't mind, please make sure you go and share the video today, because we want as many people as possible to be able to tune in today. I got a question for y'all, Power. Do y'all always enjoy the Vaughns or what? Joni Vaughn.
Come on here.
Come on. The hostess with the mostest.
Come on, it's my family,
The host with the most.
Yeah. Thank you.
Don't they do a fantastic job?
Oh, thank you so much.
And I'm so grateful. You know, I have a lot of things that tend to go on, and I don't always get the privilege to be up here with you all. And so today,
I count it an honor, yes.
Y'all let me hang out with, with y'all today, and so I'm so grateful. And another individual who's up here who also helps to lead our education department at Bright Star Community Outreach. I need y'all to go crazy. I've been knowing her since we were children, and right across the street, the Turn Center, you know, formerly Carter G. Woodson Charter School, Woodson South, that's right. Listen, her mother was the assistant principal over there, and she was the
reading instructor for Woodson North.
For Woodson North, right? And so her mother, first of all, back in the day, used to peel my head when I was a student over there at Woodson. So she's my former teacher, my former educator, and now she came and cut the ribbon with me over there. This is her daughter. Y'all go crazy for the inimitable Jada.
Wow.
Wilson Turnbow. Make some noise for her.
Use your words, Pastor. Use your words.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So honored to be here, working in the Bronzeville area where I have worked my entire educational career. I was assistant principal and educator at Beasley Academic Center for 19 years. I was also a student of Beasley going into the building in 1979, so yes. and I spent all my other years at Woodson North after school. So believe me, this is deep in my heart.
I believe that. And one of the interesting things is it is a good example of mantles being passed down. So your mom was an educator, and then you became an educator. How do you feel about carrying on that legacy? Now, somebody tell that talking table over there, be quiet a little bit.
Yeah.
My mama happened to be at that table, so I know exactly where the noise coming from. Can somebody get my mama to be quiet up in here? Because I can't tell her to be quiet, but y'all can. That's all I'm saying. Talk to me. You know, how does it feel to be a part of carrying on that mantle of education?
So education has been in the forefront of my life my entire life. Funny story, I was in kindergarten. We had a huge graduation, and I was the speaker. My mother had just gotten her master's, and my father had finished law school, and they both had graduations I attended. So what did I assume? I was done with school like them. It was a very rude awakening when my mother was like, no, you have about 18 more years to go. I said, okay. I thought kindergarten, I thought I knew it all. I was reading, but education is the forefront. And it doesn't matter if you go to college or to trade school, but you have to have a skill to be able to take care of yourself. And that is what everybody has to understand, is that you cannot be a productive citizen without some type of education. That's right. That's right. Everybody has to finish high school. And if you don't, you can get a GED. Many don't know. Fire department. Many of the students who are 17 and able to take the Chicago Fire Department test, they drop out of their private and public schools and get a GED because the test is when? In April.
Wow.
Right, it's in April. Why? They do that for a reason. But they drop out and get a GED, and they're able to take the test and able to start, while our kids have to wait until graduation, which is fine. But if you want to be a firefighter, which they need more now, Chicago has a wonderful program for police and fire. Anybody know about CPFTA? No? If you know any sophomores in high school right now, the application period should probably start in January. It's called Chicago Police and Fire Training Academy. They go to the police academy and to the fire academy after school, 4 days a week. No, 2 days. I think it's 2 days a week now. They learn 20 weeks with the fire department, 20 weeks with the police department. If they complete the program successfully, they are placed at the top of the list.
Wow.
The top of the list. Okay?
No, wait. Hold on, Jaden. So I want to make sure I'm clear. So because we got people on the scene and folks that are watching on the screen, and I think there's an opportunity for people that are in this room to share it with your colleagues and your network, as well as those of you that are watching on the screen. It is my prayer that you would tag some other people in this particular show. Now, I'm also going to ask all of you all in the room, make sure you go share it. Right, go to our Bright Star Church Chicago, St. James Church Chicago, Bright Star Community Outreach, or Pastor Chris Harris Sr. Facebook page. Like those pages, and then go and share it so those who are in your network can learn about this vital information. Now, let me ask you a question. So, it's not that we're saying education is not important, and it's not that we're saying that we shouldn't, excel in education. But I think there's an opportunity for all of us to understand that, Joni and John, education at various levels, right, is a great opportunity for people to not have any excuse to succeed. You guys you're not from Chicago. You're from Jersey. Yeah. Tell me about the education system and what you all witnessed there in Jersey, and then we're going to bring it back to your new home, Chicago. Aren't we glad they're here?
Y'all not loud enough. Y'all, come on, y'all. Well, I discovered in New Jersey, similar here. You guys talk about the north and the south side.
Yeah.
For us, it was the suburban and the inner city.
Got it.
So you can excel in the inner city school, but because the standards are so low, it's like you graduated with a C average. Mm. So those were the things that we had to face in New Jersey, in the inner city. So it's similar, I believe, Chicago now, because I hear everybody talking about the north side and the south side and the difference. So that's basically what I experienced growing up.
I know also that the books are different. The books are not new. The books are used. The books are written in. The books are something that you have to blow dust off in the black communities, in the inner city. But if you go outside of the inner city, out into suburbia, that's what we call it, then they have nice libraries and they have access to all kinds of resources that should be available to all of us. And then once or twice a year, they have a book sale, and that's where a lot of our students, a lot of the inner city would go to get the books that were used from suburbia the year before. And we find out that a lot of the students are 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5 grades behind suburban schools because the books are different. And then the college students, even in black colleges, Cheney University, for an example, had a book. I know when I was in school, I was in geometry, and freshmen in Cheney had the same book that I had. Now, I went to suburban school, so I didn't experience that, but they had the same book that I was currently using in high school.
Joni, that just truly makes me nervous, frustrated on a lot of different levels, and I'll tell you why. When my children were going to school right across the street, Woodson, which was the school that I went to, I'll never forget the day that my son, Chris Jr., brought his book home from school. And I opened it up because he asked me to help him with his homework. And I opened it up, and what blew me away was my name was in the book.
Wow. Wow.
That my son was currently learning out of. Now, I want to be clear. Chris Harris' name, mine, was quite a few lines above where Chris Harris Jr. wrote his name to learn. And it said several things to me, Jada. First of all, they clearly don't invest in our schools in the way that they should. Secondly, they clearly have not updated or upgraded the systems of scholastic achievement that our children deserve. Third of all, I knew without a shadow of a doubt, since Chicago is, if not the, one of the most segregated cities in the country, I knew there was no way in hell, and I said what I said.
You said what you said.
I knew that there was no way in hell they were allowing white kids up north to learn in the same way that a lot of our black and brown children learn out south. Now, I'm not saying all schools are like this, but the question is, when do we take time to even do an assessment? Now, I want to hold myself accountable, though, because as a parent, I also could have done a better job. And had I known better, I would have done better. I just kind of did what I saw done. I would drop my child and my children off at school, and I would let them go inside, and I would tell them, go in there and learn. Right? And I thought I was doing the right thing by taking them to school. But I didn't really know as a young parent that I too needed to go in there and find out if they were learning in the school. Right? And sometimes we don't mean harm, but we don't find out until it's too late. So here's what I'd love for you to do. Help us to understand what you have seen over the years as it relates to how education happens and the difference between what happens in the communities that have and the communities that have not. Heavy question, but I know you got it. I know you got it.
There's a lot to unpack there. So one thing we know, the more people who pay taxes in a community, okay, they're actually paying the taxes, their property taxes. They're wanting to see their money invested in schools. So that means they're in the school, the parents are working in the school, the grandparents are working in the school, they're attending all of the community meetings that are in the school. All of them. So how many people, just a quick question, even if you don't have children in the schools in your neighborhood, you do know that you still can attend the LSC meetings. Yes. Local school council meetings are vital, okay? Also, if you have children and or grandchildren, PAC meetings, that happens at every school, is mandated. That is the time that you're able to voice your opinion and talk about what's going on. I went to an LSC meeting yesterday evening. School's just starting. Everything is great. But now, of course, we don't have books anymore. Does everybody know they don't use books in school? Thanks to COVID, books went out. Everything's on the Chromebook. That's good and bad. Okay? It's good because we need to have technology. It's bad because children are able to do 55 other things while still on the Chromebook. So if you're helping anybody with homework, check all those tabs across. Check down at the bottom and see how many other windows are open, because as soon as you turn your head, that cartoon is up, the Google Meets is up with a friend, all of those. But going back to what was asked, on the north side, I would always love and be amazed when you go and you see these buildings. They have sensory rooms for children. They have all types of items, and it's amazing. Now, some of them, because they have friends of, and that's what they call it, okay, that donate additional funds. Even at Kenwood, they have friends at Kenwood High School. That allows them to have many other programs. But at the same time, the local school council is the biggest voice, because that is who hires the principal. That's who decides on the curriculum, and that's who votes on the budget. So when you're looking at the school and thinking that these children, you know, if they're playing and messing up your yard or doing anything outside, go to the school, find out when they'll call, look on the website, find out when those meetings are. Because if you're a resident of that area, it is your right to participate. And if we had more people taking ownership of their neighborhood school, we might have one less criminal coming out of that school. I'm sorry to say it. We also watch the news. The children are younger and younger committing crimes.
It's true.
So why is that? If you have grandchildren, they really, I used to love having the grandparents come and help, but you all have to understand we do have to have volunteer requests that go on now in CPS. But to go to the PAC meeting and you get an understanding of what's going on and be able to tell them what you're seeing, you know, it's vital. And it helps
Jada,
the schools.
Well, let me say this, and I want to make sure everybody understands what that is. So LSC,
Okay.
Local
School Council, and PAC is Parent Advisory Council.
That's right.
Okay.
And you got to know the difference between the two, right? And where you fit in and what you can do. And I think it's pretty amazing, you know, a lot of the things that you have seen and what we continue to see. Now, let me just come to the audience for a second. I want you all to just tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate school academic performance in the schools you are either connected to or you're aware of? That may be the school that your child goes to, school that is on your block. What do you think? Scale of 1 to 10. All right? Just call out the number, not the name of the school. We don't want to put the school on blast.
Nor the principal.
Right? Nor the principal. Because that's not what we're trying to do. But what I'm trying to do today is talk to us about the issues that are prevalent in our own community so that we can become part of the solution as opposed to just sitting at power talking about the problems. Y'all didn't say amen and you didn't clap on that. That's what accountability is. Because here's what I believe. Look at somebody right now better looking than you are. Come on, look at them right now. You see 3 of y'all won't look at nobody? Must be the sexiest thing in the building. Go look at somebody. Don't you be like that. Look that neighbor in the eye and say, neighbor, say nothing about failing schools until you do something about failing schools. Clap your hands if you love education in here. You got to do something. You got to be a part of it. You got to ask, what is my role? How can I be a part of the solution when I have identified the problem? What can I do? We're going to talk about that before you go today. I saw one hand. Scale of 1 to 10. 7. Anybody else? Come on. A 10. Excellent. A 5. A 10. Come on. 6. Anybody else? A 5. A 7. Come on. Anybody else? Want to call them out? Come on. A 9. What else? All right. Anybody else? Now.
You got one over here.
One more hand. A 1. All right. Anybody else? All right. Now, how many of you all can honestly say, and let's be honest, don't forget you in a church building. How many of y'all can honestly say, I don't even know. I just don't know. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. That's who I want to talk to. I want to talk to the people who raise their hand, and thank you for your honesty. Who can say, I really don't know. Because what I'm hoping we can do is build an army of people who know. Because when you know better, you'll do better. Am I right about that? When you know better, you can do better. And I think, so I'm chairman of what's called the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council. And that's all schools that are in the Greater Bronzeville footprint. What we call Greater Bronzeville is 67 South, 22nd North, Lakeshore Drive, Dan Ryan. How many of y'all live in that footprint? 67 South, 22nd North, Lakeshore Drive, Dan Ryan. Raise your hand real high. Let me see you. All right, excellent. Do you not know that there are enough people on the scene and watching on the screen who can help us, here's my goal, to make sure there are no empty seats in the LSCs of every school. The local school councils, let me tell you, in my partnership with Chicago Public Schools and other schools, what they say is, Pastor, we're trying to find local school council members to help lead the vision of the school, but we can't find the people. And I'm like, I feed them every other Wednesday. They sitting in the room every other Wednesday. And wait a minute, there are people who want to get involved, but they just don't know how. Hold on. There are people who want to get involved, but they just don't know how. Wait a minute. But there's another problem. There are also schools that really don't want a lot of LSC people. Right? Let's just be honest about it. Because they know, and here's what I tell people, if you invite me to the table, you're going to hear my voice. Now, I'm not going to come in and be a rubber stamp for you, but I am going to make sure that I hold you accountable. And that's what we have to do. And so I think all of you all who said, I really don't know, I want to invite you to join us in finding out what the state of our Greater Bronzeville schools are and beyond. Because some of y'all don't live in Greater Bronzeville, but we can connect you to those community action councils and say, how can you get involved there? Now, talk a little bit more, Jada, and educate myself, Bishop, Joni, on the role of an LSC. I don't want to move past that, right? You've experienced this, and also talk a little about the pros and the cons. Because I know people won't like when I say this, but they're going to go and get this work because I got the mic. If you are over a budget and you can't count,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
If you are hiring and you're responsible for hiring a principal, but you can hardly read yourself. If you are responsible for putting great leadership over our babies, but you are the worst parent any teacher has ever faced, then I don't think you understand the responsibility of your role. Talk to us about the power of LSCs and the responsibility that comes with it.
So everybody knows that local school council was a state mandate, right? That's a law that was written because parents did not have control of their schools.
So words matter, and I like to challenge words. How many of y'all knew that? All right. How many of y'all didn't know that? Raise your hand high. So I want you to notice what Jada started off with, which is one of the things that I think hinders our community. She opened up with, everybody knows, and that is absolutely not true. Right? And there's this nice book that I tend to preach and teach out of. It said, we perish for the lack of knowledge. So
what I taught you.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you. He taught me that. That's right. We perish for the lack of knowledge. So everybody don't know. Right. So you just educated us. It was mandated by the state. Go ahead.
So because of that, back in the late 80s, early 90s, for a couple of years, they were trying to fix to see what worked, what didn't work. So they realized, okay, parents were, very excited, energized, because now you had control. Now, of course, there are measures that, you have to be voted in. There's so many parent representatives, and they wanted community reps, teacher reps. So as the LSC, prior to me being an administrator, I was on as a teacher rep, because that's important, because we have to have our say as what's going on in the school. Now they've even added what they call it's not a secret, it's the paraprofessional. So that is somebody else that works in the building. And now also all of the students, not just in the high school, also in the elementary school. Okay, some elementary schools have not gotten that progressive because it's optional, but depending on the size of the school, some of them have. They're required to meet monthly. They can't vote on budgets or any placement of people if they don't have what's considered a quorum, which is usually 7 members out of the 10. There are, right now in our network, 8 schools that don't have active LSCs because they don't have people. Yes, it's a problem. It's truly a problem. They've also changed some of the principal evaluation because they were not getting parents the LSCs to complete the process. Principals are evaluated every year. They get a 4-year contract, but they have to meet certain parameters. If parents feel as if in the first year of their contract they're not doing what's necessary, they have meetings with who is the chief, and this network is Aileen Mason, sharing their concerns. The Office of Local School Counsel at CPS will also come in and have meetings. Now, sometimes, yes, it's a personality issue and has nothing to do with what the principal's doing other than they don't agree with the decisions. But sometimes, yes, we have leaders that don't follow the vision of the school. But who has to say so? The LSC. The LSC votes on the budget. CPS does student-based budgeting, which is really not fair. Okay, I'm just putting it out there since I don't work for them anymore. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Glad she worked for me. Thank you, Jesus.
But student-based budgeting affects our African-American schools and impacts us negatively. It's based on every child in that building. Depending on the grade level, there's a dollar amount.
So, for example, if there are 10 schools, if there are 10 students in a school, they give, let's say, $8,000 per student.
Well, primary gets a little bit more than intermediate and upper.
Not the specific number, but the idea.
Correct,
right?
correct.
So let's just round it up. So if you give $10,000 per student and you have 10 students in that building, then that's a $100,000 budget, correct?
Correct.
All right, so 10,000 times 10. Now, on average, what is the per pupil dollar amount for a school? Average. I know it varies.
It varies. It's so many different factors because it depends on how many special ed students, how many primary students, how many upper grade students are there. So that's a hard, and I haven't seen what the numbers are now.
All right, so how many of y'all know how to Google? Do it right now. What's the per pupil?
For CPS,
right,
you have to put in
Chicago
Chicago Public Schools.
Come on, this is how we get information.
Right.
Come on, look it up.
You can look up the per pupil cost, so it should come up.
It should come up. So Chicago Public Schools per pupil cost for the budget. So that's important. And before we leave off this question, I need somebody to give us that answer.
So when we talk about the budget and we talk about teachers, sometimes if we don't have enough students in the school, but you got the number?
What's the number? K through 12 public schools, 16,000.
Wait,
okay.
Is that in Chicago? Wait. Was that CPS though number or was that the state number?
Okay. What do you have? Come on, who else got something different? Okay. Anybody else got another number? So she got 17,000. She got 29,000. Who else got another number? I saw a hand in the back. Is that what you had? All right. Is that what you got? 29,000 per student. Now, why do those numbers sound interesting to you, former assistant principal?
That sounds really high.
Extremely high.
Extremely high. Because usually it's about 8,000 to 10,000.
I couldn't wait till she told y'all that.
So that number, now unless they're picking in pension pickup and everything else in that building, but that's extremely high. Realistically, it's about 8,000 to 10,000. There's a little bit more for special ed students because it has to be more staffing. And that includes...
So let's stop. Hold on, because I don't want to move too fast. Y'all getting educated. How many of y'all didn't even know those numbers? Raise your hand. Look at these hands. Look at all these hands in the room. This is what I'm talking about. See, now you have power. Because it's knowledge. If you come in this room, we feed you. You have fun and food and fellowship. But no knowledge, we wasted your time. Now you have power. And you now have the ability to do the proper research like I just asked you to do. And then go to the school and say, hey, how much money do they give each child for education for the school year who goes to this school? And you know what you'll find out? If you go to one south of Roosevelt Road, the numbers are going to be significantly different than those who go to school north of Roosevelt Road. And let me tell you what's even worse. When they build a brand new school and some of these new schools that are right there on the south side with the rest of them, they will give certain schools more money when in fact it's a school right down the street that don't even get close to it. See, this is what I need us to understand. We perish for the lack of knowledge. And when you get knowledge, you have power. See, that's what we come and bring you in here to give you knowledge so that you can speak truth to power. Because guess what we're going to do? We're going to do an assessment of how much money they give every school in the greater Bronzeville community, and we're going to go ask for some more. Oh, I thought y'all would clap better than that. We want them to write the check. Everybody say, write the check. Come on, I need you to say it better than that. Say, write the check. Now, here's what they will say. They will say, well, you only got 100 students in the school. You know what? You're right. We counted that it's only 100 students in the school. So why don't we go ahead and talk to our legislators and ask them to change that rule? Because if it's just based on taxes, when the South Side going to catch up? We're fighting a losing battle. Because if there is no development in your community, then nobody can purchase a home. And if nobody can purchase a home, they can't pay taxes. And if they can't pay taxes, then they can't take that money and give it to the school system. Because the reason your penal institutions, your prisons, and your jails are filling up is because the schools are not educating. I'm still thoroughly convinced that the best violence prevention, I'm going to see if I can get 20 people to clap in the back who fool because we fed you, is access to a world-class education that leads you to a world-class job, employment, household sustaining wages, and see if y'all clap on this, and entrepreneurship. That's what we're working on. How do we educate our young people? Because a lot of them, they were saying, you correct me if I'm wrong, a news media report came out in the Washington Post, in the New York Times, saying that because of COVID, students are now nationally behind 3 to 4 years. Is that right?
That's correct.
So here's the question. If COVID put them behind 3 or 4 years, Think about the schools and the students that were already 3 to 4 years behind before COVID. So that means our students are 6 to 8 years behind. And you wonder why they dropping out? You wonder why they're class clowns? You wonder why they ain't going to school? It's just like me. I didn't want to go to school if it was test day because I didn't know the stuff. Can you believe I did that? Of course I. Listen, this is a true story.
Your mother had a comment.
Listen, my mama right here in the room. I would act a fool. And it wasn't because I just wanted to be a class clown. Here's the truth. I just didn't want to look like a dummy. And I'm looking at the test and I'm like, I don't know this answer. Uh-oh. I don't know this answer either. Uh-oh. I don't know this answer either. So everybody else circling their bubble on the Iowa test. Y'all remember those? Anybody took the Iowa test way back in the day? They circling their bubble. And I ain't know the answer. So I either did one of two things. True story. I either circled any bubble, failed the test, or I had to pee about 8 times during the test. Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And I would stay in the stall. I want y'all to hear me because it sounds funny, but it was tragic. Teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And I would literally, in shame, stay in the bathroom hoping the test would end soon. Will y'all think about how tragic that is? And so the reality is many of our students are still doing that right now. That's why during COVID, many of them wouldn't log on. That's why during COVID, many of them got depressed. That's why many of them are having mental health issues in the classroom. Because they are fighting a losing battle. And you know what our community ought to be doing? We ought to be clowning that these children not only don't have access to the kind of funding that gives the teachers and the principals what they need to educate them, but we also ought to be going crazy if every student in our community does not have high quality after school programming and tutoring. Oh my God, would you slap somebody a high five and tell them they need tutors? They need tutors. They need to. We ought to make sure that every single student in every single school has after school tutoring. Quality. Now, guess who they should not make a tutor? Me. I don't know that stuff. Now, here's what people would say. Well, you know what? They would call the average person like me a dummy. They would. That's really what they do. They label us. But I'm okay with being a dummy, being the CEO of a company that got 115 employees. I'm okay with being labeled a dummy, and I done built a community and built a company and given all kinds of people resources and opportunities because I had to learn in a different kind of school. Since I didn't learn well in that school. And y'all saying amen on that, but I'm going to see if y'all say amen on this. Stop blaming the teachers.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, y'all done got quiet now. See, I didn't get one clap.
If I could just speak to that for one moment.
Wait, let me say 2 more things about that before you speak to that. Our child come home talking about this the teacher, and then we go up there and cuss the teacher out. Cuss the principal out. Come on, y'all talk to me. And then your kid come home talking about it wasn't me, and then you walk up there, wasn't there, and talking about it wasn't him, and you don't know the school child versus the house child. And we ought to fire every teacher that don't teach and just want to check. Y'all done got quiet right there. Because many of these folks don't look like our children and they don't care about our children and they have given up on our children. See, we got to be well-rounded in our discussion on what's affecting education. Talk to me.
So when we talk about teachers, I was green, excited, going into classroom learning in a great learning environment. I have students that I've taught that are now teachers, and they are struggling. Why? Because they are being called everything but Miss Jones, Miss Brown, not by the parents, but by the children.
Talk now.
I can tell you, my last years in CPS, I had too many kindergartners telling me what I can do and where I could go, and it was not pleasant. So we don't hold our children responsible for their behaviors. And not only that, CPS is not holding children responsible for their behaviors. When we talk about a code of conduct, how many of you all realize now is the children's rights and responsibilities? They have more rights and responsibilities than anybody else in that building. That book, everybody needs to read, because this is also, unfortunately, why our crime is increasing, because in school is where you learn consequences. Even when I had the worst children and their parents didn't parent, they knew in school I couldn't get away with this. But now, everywhere I go, I get away with it. So it's so vital that we speak up.
That's right.
Watch the long board meeting that they don't want you to watch. Be participating in our neighborhoods, in our community schools, because we are losing teachers. Right now, CPS has over 1,200 classrooms with children in them and no teacher. No teacher.
Now listen.
No teacher.
Let me pause it for a second. I want y'all to hear this. And this is important. What she's saying right now, and Christian, come on in. What she's saying right now is really, really important, because I'm going to ask you all to do something at your tables in just a moment. There is a very serious dearth of teachers, especially male teachers. In addition to that, black teachers. And CPS, 60,000 students. 360,000 students in about 600 schools. And in those schools are teachers. How many teachers are in the teachers union? I think about 30,000.
Yeah, it's about that.
About 30,000 teachers. And check this out. The vast majority of them are not black. While 90+% of the students are black and brown. So look at the cultural divide. Right? And I'm not saying that it just needs to be black and brown people educating black and brown kids, because I had some amazing white teachers. For one in particular, she was my first crush, Miss Kramer, right across the street. Remember, my mama sure remember. I love Miss Kramer. Miss Kramer was amazing and really, really took time with us. And I need you to hear this. There is a serious absence of teachers, and let me tell you what CPS is doing, but wait, out of desperation. They are putting people through short-term programs who never wanted to be a teacher, giving them a certificate, and then putting them in the room and saying, teach these kids.
I got one better.
This is true. Hear what we're saying.
That's true. They are also, are you ready for it? They are hiring teachers from the Philippines. Administrators are looking at resumes from teachers from the Philippines. Now, how many of us have had phone calls and don't like talking to people who are not in America, unfortunately? Okay? So can you imagine, and when your child walks in that room, and these are people who have been educated in Manila, and they're bringing them here on a work visa.
Listen to how serious that is.
So when you, I mean, as administrators, I have friends who are like, I don't think I can do that. And I can't even get a video of you teaching. Because when customary, you want to see who's going to be in front of your children. We would go to the school and see them teach in their building. We'd have them come do a lesson for us before you get hired. And I'm going to be the bad kid. I'm going to be that one that's going to keep you on your toes. But when you're already coming to America from the Philippines and you got to learn about American culture, then African-American culture?
It's tough. Let me say this. And if I was to defend CPS, if there was a defense, what do you do when you don't have a pool to pull from?
Right.
Because we got to be balanced in the fact that CPS is desperate. And what we need to do as a community is create, I'm not going to use the word pipeline, but pathways of young people from our community to go to school and have a desire to become an educator. And that's important. We have to find people who care about children and figure out how we can make sure that those empty spaces get filled. Now, today, I know you're traumatized. Thank God we have a trauma helpline called the Turn Center. 833, there's the number on the screen. All this information traumatizing you, 833, turn 123. Because if you're traumatized at what you're listening to, imagine the principals, the teachers, the administrators, and the students that are traumatized by what they're living every day in what we call schools. Now, I want to just take a shift here because we're getting ready to run out of time. Joni, let me ask you a question. Do you feel, from your perspective, you've been working here now, you and John, you came in from Jersey, you're here now working at BSEO. What are some of the things you think and you've heard are missing? And I'm going to pass the mic around the room. And I want to see some of the things you all think are missing. But before we do that, what I want you all to do is Christian going to give us the little music that they be playing. And we're going to give y'all a minute to talk at the table. And each table come up with one thing that you believe schools are missing or schools could use to take education to the next level. All right? So y'all got 2 minutes. The first minute, I want you to choose a captain at your table. Now, if they don't volunteer, volunteer them. Choose a captain that would speak for your team.
Love it.
And then you all will tell us what you think is missing. So y'all talk now, and Joni's going to start, John's going to start, and then y'all going to talk to us. Come on, take some time.
Well, I believe we need, you want me to start now?
We'll wait on them.
Oh, we're going to wait.
Those of y'all that are watching online, we want you all to do the same thing. Go to the chat right now and put in the comments what you believe is missing. Technology is missing. Blah, blah, blah is missing. This and that is missing. Come on. Say it in the chat. Say it in the comments. Things you think are missing. Y'all got 90 seconds. Y'all got 60 seconds. Y'all got 20 seconds. Keisha, give me the power flyer. Y'all got 20 seconds. All right. We don't have one flyer? All right. All right, all the captains of the table, raise your hand. All right? We got captains. If you got the best captain at your table, make some noise for him. All right? Thanks, Christian. We're ready. We're going to start with Joni. Then we're going to go to John. Then we're going to come to Jada. Wait a minute.
Huh? Come on here.
Joni, John, Jada.
Uh-huh.
Change your name to Jelly Bean.
That's right. My name is Jelly Bean today. Don't you leave me out of them J's. You know what I'm saying? So up here you got John, Joni, Jelly Bean, and Jada. Clap for the J Street. Talk to me up in here. All right. Bring the music down. Talk to us. We're going to start with Joni, go to John, come to Jada, and we're coming to the captains of the table.
I think mentors, that's what the students need. They need mentors, and specifically, like you said, Jelly Bean, male mentors in schools, because we need the young men to be guided in a way. They need to, if we want male teachers, they need to see a male teacher. If we want male black teachers, they need to see male black teachers. So that's my opinion. I think they need somebody to help them, guide them, and show them that, hey, it's okay to be a teacher. I'm cool. That's
excellent. John?
Well, she took my answer. Because I had the opportunity to work for C2C. Yeah. So I saw the difference our mentors made in their life.
And C2C is an acronym for Choose to Change.
Change, yes. Yep. So I seen it firsthand what a mentor can do for a student, not only during the school year, but past, in their life. So I would say mentorship.
What about you, Jada?
There you go. My answer is lengthy. So active parenting, that parents that have supports, that are aware of what their child is doing at all times, good and bad, regardless of the fact that we get all of our grades online, that they are still coming to teacher conferences and volunteering in the school, and not just concerned with making them look cute, but then also that teachers are receiving the respect necessary to educate on a daily basis, and that students know there are consequences for your actions. When I have two friends right now, great, magnificent teachers. Early retirement. They've moved on from education. Both of them were injured by students. Injured. Seriously injured.
It's a sad day. We got work to do. But listen, we got to talk about these things. I'm going to have Bishop and Joni. They're going to take these mics out there with. Who got the other mic? I saw Aaron with another mic. Okay. So we take this one. Thank you. And so it's going to be important that you all share. All right. So captains, if you will now just tell us what you think. Can we see over here? Do we need to put a camera here? All right. That's right. Thank you so much. Talk to us.
Hello, my name is Lynette Solomon. I'm from Bronzeville. And I say parents and parenting because I say this because before COVID, I've been going to every LSC,
you got to make it real fast. We got a bunch of tables.
LSC and the other meeting. I went to the open house. It was only two parents there, me and I'm a great-grandparent.
Wow. So parents, clap it up for the first captain. Next table. Thank you, Mama. All right. Tell us your name.
My name is Linda Carter, and I must say that must be the consensus. Effective parenting, because they can get a certain amount at school, but if there's nothing at home, no parental support, no communication between the teacher and the parent, the student has nowhere to go.
Thank you. Let's come over here. Come on, over this way.
Hi. Hi, my name is Katrina
Let's
Green.
make sure we listen to everybody.
Hi, my name is Katrina Green, and I'm the head greeter of Bright Star St. James. And my table came up with, we need to put prayer back in school. Ever since they took prayer out of school, the school just been chaos. So I think prayer will be the best thing.
Thank you. Right here.
My name is
please listen.
Wilson King, and I'm from down Mississippi. So now going to school, the parents will come and support the teachers. What we did wrong, they go spank us in school. That was it. We had prayer in school down south. They took it out. Now it's gone to you know what, but prayer in school. Bring it back.
Next table, Aaron. That's right. Aaron, come on that table.
Okay. How you doing? My name is Jackie, and we feel like what is missing in the schools are volunteers to teach extracurricular activities to the children. Also after school, because it's missing. They're taking all the music classes, all the swimming classes, all the language arts, different languages after school. So
what happened to that, Mike? Volunteers, okay? Thank you. All right, right here. And now come over there.
My name is Beverly Tate, and we decided that smaller classroom settings where the teachers can give more attention to each student.
Got it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now, and by the way, I just want to raise up on this, because if we do smaller classrooms, you need more teachers, right? So that's going to be very, very important. This is why recruiting these teachers. We come over here, and then we got a hand up here at this table and back there. Come on.
Hey, everybody. I'm Shar. My friends here, they wanted me to let you all know that in Venezuela, they only had 2 days of school because they stopped paying teachers. And by being here now, they're grateful because with their kids being 14 and 16, they've never had 5 days of school.
Wow. Wow. Ask them, are they comfortable with me introducing them, all right? Let me know. Next table, come on. Right here in the front.
Hi, my name is Janelle Harper, and I am a retired CPS counselor, case manager, teacher, all that. Everything everybody said.
Use that mic closer.
Everything everyone said is correct from my viewpoint. And my main thing is getting the parents in there. The school that I came from, most of the time to get the parents in, they had to give them something, have food for them, or some kind of giveaway to get them to come in the building.
Wow. Right.
That's for sure. And I got tired of parents defending unacceptable behavior. I got tired of that. And one of the main reasons I left, one of those little boogers called me an old lady. I had been called everything, but I had never been called an old lady. And that was kind of amusing to me, but I said to myself, it's time for this old lady to go home. And I started making preparations to go home because I got tired of all that foolishness. And one thing that they do need is men in those schools, especially in the elementary schools, because some of those kids live in a home with nothing but women. Right. Nothing but women. So they need to see men in a different role other than standing outside doing nothing.
I want y'all to go crazy for anybody who has done anything in education for a long time. Thank you for your service. Jada, thank y'all for your service. That's what it's all about. We got any more over here? All right, let me just say this, and I don't necessarily need you, Keyshawn, to put the camera on them, but I want to say this as you put the camera on me today. In this room, and the two individuals you just heard, they just shared. Here's the reality. They shared that they are from Venezuela. They are some of the migrants who have come over, running away from terrorism. Make sure you share with them what I'm saying. And here's what I want y'all to hear. They ended up outside the church, ran into a pastor. They were welcomed inside the church. because that's what we're supposed to do in our community. Look out for people. And now I'm asking y'all to please welcome our 2 newest family members to our family. And they got 2 children that are in school. They part of the family now. Our tent just got larger by 4 people. Because one thing I do know, anybody on the outside ought to be bought on the inside. And if we ignore any problems, y'all don't have to bring them up. You do not. You don't have to bring them up. Thank you. But I want to say this. Let me say this. I'm going to live by the book. Do unto others as you would have them. Clap your hands for the truth. I don't care who don't like it. Next.
Hi, my name is Beverly, and I've only been in Chicago 2 years. I'm here with my children and
switch that mic out real quick, John.
I want to ditto what she said. It needs to start at home. It needs to start at home. You need a lot of loving and teaching at home. At home. And then in the school, we need to mentor. We need to mentor our children. Those guys, those young men, they need it badly. Badly. They need it.
Can I ask you a question? What city were you from?
Pardon me?
Where were you from? You've been here 2 years.
Washington, D.C.
So did you see, y'all clap it up for D.C., that's right.
Washington,
That's
D.C.
East Coast, right?
Because it's
That's
there,
right.
yes.
So let me ask you a question.
It's there
Did you
too.
see some of the same issues there?
Yes, indeed.
That we're talking about here?
Yes, indeed.
Talk about that a little bit.
Indeed. They need it. They need it there too. They're hurting. Children everywhere just disrespecting. Disrespecting you, us, you know, anybody. But you got some us who are in Christ. We need to still love them.
That's right.
We need to show it anyway. It'll hurt us. I know I got one out there. But I'm going to love them anyway.
I know that's right.
I'm going to love them anyway.
Clap your hands for it, y'all. Last one. Listen up.
James Mallard. Growing up, parent pressure was always greater than peer pressure. Nowadays, it's peer pressure that entices the children to do things ordinarily that they would not because they want to be included in the crowd. But back then, you were scared to do certain things because there were consequences. And you would get in trouble at school, and then your mom or dad tell you, wait till I get home, and you be ready to get into bed, and that's when they gonna come get you once you done took all your clothes off. And you gonna remember that next time because you don't want that same repercussions that you had the prior day.
Excellent. Excellent. Y'all clap it up. Thank you for that. Did we get every table? I want to make sure we ain't miss nobody. Did we get every table? Back there, CJ, talk to me. 2 more. Thank you.
Hi, my name is CJ. What we came up with is cultural sensitivity training. Just a quick. In Evanston, what they did was they took African and African American history, infused it in the curriculum. Those students who were part of that outshone their counterparts in all major classes: math, reading, science.
You know what I think about as I'm listening, and I'll come to this last one. Hold on, Jeff. You know what I think about, and here's why I want to hold us accountable as we get ready to close. We got our last speaker. One of the things that I'm listening to in this room, and y'all know I love us, don't we? Is if we spend more time talking about what's wrong and not most of our time how to get it right. meetings turn into venting sessions as opposed to vision sessions. And what I want to hold us accountable to do as a team, as the P.O.W.E.R initiative, is to figure out how we acknowledge what's wrong, but turn it and make it right. And in this next session, we're going to come back the next session again, talking about what's our game plan. How many will show up for that? That's what I'm talking about. We got to have a game plan. And I think it's important because now we've had this discussion. We've stirred up all this emotion. Here's the question. What are we going to do with it? I'm excited. I got a vision for you, and I'm pumped up. Last one, Jeff.
Right here, Pastor. I'm Executive Pastor Jeff.
This man clearly was in the Army and has served, is in the Army. Would y'all thank him for his service? Come on.
Yep, I'm done with that. Okay, so what we're talking about here at my table, we were talking about technology. You know, the world is moving so fast, and a lot of our students are going to be left behind with technology. I graduated high school in '82. I remember 1980s at Hyde Park. I would never forget it. They brought in one computer for this whole school, like 2,000 students at the time. Now, I went up to the north side, and one of the schools on the north side, they had a computer room. And that was back in the 80s. So if we don't get it together, we're going to be totally left behind.
100%.
Definitely have problems.
Clap your hands for all these captains and all these tables. Give me your music. I'm ready to bring Joni and John back, wonderful facilitators. Let me just say this. I'm excited as the chairman of the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council. I'm asking you all, on Monday we had our meeting with all of the principals in the community. And in October, we're going to talk to all the teachers. In November, we're going to talk to the parents. And in December, we're going to talk to the LSCs, PACs, and CBOs, community-based organizations, and faith-based organizations. But while they're in the breakout rooms, in the big room, the Greater Bronzeville Community Action Council, of which I'm the chairman, we're going to have these kinds of conversations. And I need y'all to show up. And we're going to show up for our children. We're going to show up for these students. We're going to show up for these principals and teachers. But most importantly, we're going to show up for our community. Thank y'all for showing up today. Love y'all so much. Clap it up
Come
for Joni
on.
and John.
Come on, put it together for our CEO. Where the table beaters at? I don't see y'all in here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Harris. Thank you.
Can y'all do me a favor? Can we just look at a camera, wave our hand, and tell those online we'll see you next time? All right, all right.
Yeah. Let's clap it up one more time. Who wants to win this money? Let me see.